I love this stuff. When you're on a diet, or if you're anything, into fitness, you kind of care about what you eat. You find yourself hungry often, but you don't really have the calories to, go and eat whatever you want. Get a Diet Pepsi. I know it's not gonna kill you. It's not gonna give you cancer. None of that bullshit. I've been drinking a crap ton of this for the past 3 years now. And I know, you can say, oh, you're still young, the effects will come at 40, 50, but I've seen people at 40, 50 to get that's not even the video. Why am I talking about? We're gonna style our hair today with some freaking leave-in conditioner. One of my favorite hair products. This thing. Now you can get it in multiple brands. I just found this on Amazon like I don't even know, mate, like 6, 7 months ago. This stuff lasts a long time. Not that I use it every day though. There are phases in which I use this and I don't. And right now I find myself in a phase that I do use this. And now in order to use this, first of all, let me tell you why you're going to use it. You're going to use this if you have anywhere from wavy to curly hair. Curly hair, it's like a must that you need to use a leave-in conditioner because inevitably your hair is going to get dry. Now, the reason that is because the oil that your scalp produces, the straighter your hair is, it's easier for the oil to literally, like, imagine a straight strand of hair, right? The oil can just easily go through that hair. Whereas if your hair has, movement and it's like curly and stuff, it's gonna take more time. So when it takes more time, your hair is going to get more frizzy, more dry. So you need something to hydrate the hair. That is when leave-in conditioner is going to come in. Now I have wavy hair, which is in between straight and curly hair. So I still think that this actually works fine for me. If you have straight hair, sometimes straight hair can get dry. It's not that it's impossible, it definitely can. But if you have straight hair that gets oily very fast and you have like no dryness or no frizz, stay away from this stuff because if you use this, it's only going to make your hair look worse. It's going to make it look greasy, weighed down. The product is probably going to go down to your scalp. It's going to cause a lot of dandruff and stuff. You don't use this if you have straight hair. That gets greasy and oily very fast. Now, if you want to use this, first of all, you need to get your hair damp, wet, damp, whatever. I just took a shower. It's been drying for a bit. And I use about that much. Yeah, it looks rather weird, but and then you kind of just work it through your hair. I like to first start with the top of my hair and then I apply a little bit to the sides and then go towards the back so that the applying process is even and I know exactly how much I'm using, not just putting a whole bunch of product just in one area of hair. You know what I mean? I also made a video on how to use a texture clay, a hair clay on your hair, how to style your hair with that. If you have straight hair, that is probably one of the best products you could use. That, and if you have shorter hair that's straight, I would recommend you use a texture powder. A texture powder is something that if your hair is straight, you probably struggle to get that messy kind of a look or any kind of volume or hold. So if you use a texture powder, it's literally like a freaking small bottle. You sprinkle the powder on your head and you get texture. You get the kind of messiness that's going on here. So yeah, and now we get some for the back. You might think I'm applying a lot, but I'm actually applying it very little bit each time I put it on my hand. Now this is a decent bit because the back of my hair is decently long enough. For those of you who keep getting haircuts to get the freaking fades and stuff, stop. I mean, I'm not going to tell you stop, that's stupid, because you can do whatever the heck you want with your hair, sure, but I've never seen a guy look worse with longer hair than they do with shorter hair. Now you're going to find your parting. Because at some point, especially if you have wavy hair, sometimes it happens with curly hair, but for the most part, I've seen curly hair people, they just have like the freaking mop on the head, right? But if you have anything apart from curly hair, you're going to have a parting somewhere. Now for me, as you can see, it kind of just splits right there. It's not exactly a side part, but I guess you can call it 70-30, I don't even know. And then you're going to part it and then just basically slick it back. Now you're going to slick this back and you want to mess up the sides, okay? Now this depends honestly on the kind of haircut that you got in the first place. The haircut that I got was not meant for this kind of flowy look that I'm going for, so I kind of part it off in a rather specific way. I can't just slick it all back because if I do that, it's not going to dry well. You got to remember one thing: however you let your hair dry, that's how it's eventually going to end up looking for the rest of the day. And in my case, the rest of the next 3 days until I go and shampoo and condition again. And do you need to shampoo and condition every day? No, you don't. You just, honestly, it depends on your scalp and stuff. For me, after a lot of freaking experimenting, I have found out that for me, I work out a lot, literally, I sweat a lot, so I need to wash my hair every day. That doesn't mean I need to use shampoo, though, just wash my hair with water. And then every 3 days, I use a shampoo and a conditioner. And do I use this leave-in conditioner every day? Yes, I do. Honestly, it makes my hair look better, feel thicker, and it just takes away that dry look. My hair doesn't get dry very easily, but it doesn't get frizzy very easily, but it does kind of have a dry look if I don't apply leave-in conditioner in, especially when I wake up out of bed, which I guess it does for most people. So I just prefer using it every day. Just use a little bit every day. Wash your hair, use it. Wash your hair, use it. Or get your hair wet and then use it. But again, all this depends on you. This is what works for me, and honestly changes from time to time. Like this may work for me for the next 1 or 2 weeks, and then I might go to another product. I might freaking use sea salt spray. So it's just up to you. You have to figure out what works for you. This, like, I've been doing this hair stuff for the past 2 years at least. I have been experimenting a heck of a lot with different shampoos, different conditioners, different leave-in conditioners, different products. I have like freaking billion products sitting in my hair, sitting in my freaking room right now. And do I use them all? No, I don't. It's just sitting there. And one random day, if I feel like, oh, this product, I want to try it out, I'll try it out and see what it does. I was literally using hair clay, and then my hair got longer, so I decided, you know what, let's give this a go. And now I'm using only this. So, okay, so it's enough yapping. You basically find your parting and just kind of slick it back, mess it around on the sides and the back, especially the back, because that's gonna give you that flowy kind of a look. And then you let it air dry, or you could hair dry it, which is this thing. I know a lot of people use a diffuser, and I have one, but I like using this. It's just easier, I guess. Yeah, and what I do is I get the cool setting on this. I don't use any heat on my hair. If you're going to use heat, you have to actually use a heat. Why am I messing up my words? You have to use a heat protectant. I don't have one, and I prefer the cool air. I'm getting hair and air mixed up a lot, but I prefer using the cool setting on this. And after that, it should be pretty much done. And I'll do that, and I'll get back to you. Now this is pretty much it, and then I kind of just mess it up, slick it back a bit, do whatever the heck I want, and it kind of just goes into its own flowy kind of a shape, especially over the next couple hours, because you got to realize that whenever you apply any product, right now it's a leave-in conditioner, but when you apply any product, even though you dry it and it feels completely dry, you got to wait for a couple hours for it to fully take effect, if you know what I mean. The product has to really kick in, mess around with your hair strands, and actually activate, and it takes some time for that. So what my hair looks right now, it's dry right now, like there's no dampness or wetness here, but in 2 to 3 hours it won't look completely different, but the texture of the hair will look a lot better. Look like you'll get more of the waves and stuff. So like I said, I have wavy hair and I use this. If you have curly hair, you definitely need to use this. If you have straight hair that gets greasy very fast, stay away from this stuff because it's going to mess up your hair. If you have straight hair, you can probably benefit from something like a sea salt spray, texture powder, hair clay, pomade. You want to go for stuff like that. If you have wavy hair, when you have wavy hair, it's tricky because sometimes it can get dry. Sometimes you can put products like texture clay, hair texturizing powder, which actually dries out your hair. Still, it feels fine. So you got to figure out what's right for you, because for the most part, wavy hair and curly hair especially is going to dry out faster. Straight hair is going to be greasy, full of moisture already, so you don't need to add anything into that. But it's different. For some people, they could have straight hair and it could be extremely dry. They could have curly hair and it could be very well moisturized just by washing it and doing nothing else. So you need to find what works for you and then find the right product. And for some people, you don't even need product. Like, if I'm going to be honest, do I need this product? I don't. It just makes my hair look better, feel better, but I could do without it. I probably could do without it. But then I have the product, so I'm going to freaking use it, right? And if I don't have any time to do any of this stuff, this took like 10 minutes, then I'll just get some leave-in conditioner, mess it up in my hands, emulsify it in my hands, put it all over my hair and let it air dry instead of hair dry. Or blowing it with whatever the blow dry. Yeah, instead of using a blow dry, just let it air dry. So thank you so much for watching. I mean, I don't know what the heck to say to finish off the video, but yeah, that's it. I would appreciate you subscribing. I honestly don't even care about the subscriber count anymore, but if you subscribe, that would be nice. Thank you very much.